Welcome back to the Human User Manual podcast. In this episode, we're diving into something that's subtle, almost invisible, yet it destroys more dreams than failure ever could. It's what I call the crabs in a bucket mentality. You've probably seen it. Maybe you've even felt it. You decide to change something in your life, improve your health, start a business, break free from old patterns, and suddenly the people around you aren't cheering you on. They're questioning you, mocking you, warning you. They say things like, don't get your hopes up. People like us don't do things like that. Why can't you just be satisfied with what you have? Or don't try so hard. It might be subtle. Sometimes it even sounds caring. But make no mistake, it's the sound of crabs in a bucket. A few years ago, a friend of mine named Lisa decided she was done coasting through her job. She wanted more, not in a greedy way, but because she knew she was capable of more. So she started arriving early, volunteering for projects, showing initiative. At first, her coworkers said they admire her drive, but then something happened. The compliments turned into jokes. Oh, look at Lisa trying to impress the boss again. She's making the rest of us look bad. She's a brown noser. Someone even started spreading rumors that she was only working hard to get attention. Within weeks, the energy around her changed. The same people who used to eat lunch with her now rolled their eyes when she walked by. And here's what's fascinating: Lisa didn't do anything wrong. She didn't step on anyone. She didn't brag. She just started climbing. But the others couldn't stand the reflection of their own inaction. Her ambition made them uncomfortable. So they tried to pull her back down into their bucket. That is the crabs in a bucket mentality. If you put one crab in a bucket, it can climb out easily. But put several together, and they'll pull each other back down every time one tries to escape. It's instinctive, unconscious, and completely self defeating for the crabs. But humans do it too. Families, workspaces, social circles, even spiritual groups. When someone starts to rise, others panic. Because if you can change, it means they can too. And that truth terrifies some people. So instead of facing their own limitations, they try to drag you down. Some of it is out of fear or insecurity, but other times, yes, it's pure jealousy or ego. I once heard of someone who worked in a software company. He had just been promoted to lead a small team of developers, a well earned promotion after months of dedication. But one of his coworkers couldn't handle it. He felt threatened and went to management, saying that he will quit unless he was also promoted. So they gave him a separate team to lead, a completely different project. But here is where it gets interesting. Even though their work didn't overlap, he couldn't stop trying to interfere. He would show up in the other team's meetings, giving unsolicited direction, and act as if he was in charge. His goal was not to contribute, It was to reassert control, to prove he was the one on top. Eventually, it got so disruptive that even the CEO had to step in and say, "You lead your team, and let him lead his." That's the crabs in a bucket dynamic in action. Not metaphorically, but literally. When someone feels their significance is slipping, instead of rising with you, they try to pull you back down to where they're comfortable. Let me give you another example. A young man, let's call him Daniel. He grew up in a struggling neighborhood. His parents worked hard but lived with the belief that people like us never get ahead. Daniel decided to break that cycle. He started a small online business, stayed focused, and soon began earning more than anyone in his family ever did. You'd think that they'd be proud of him, but instead he heard, "You've changed. Don't forget where you came from. Money doesn't make you better than us." In reality, he did change. He improved his mindset and outgrew the limits that defined them. He climbed out of the bucket. And rather than being inspired, they tried to pull him back into their comfort zone, their bucket. And by the way, why is it wrong to change? If you don't like your current circumstances, change. Otherwise, you remain stuck in other people's bucket, limited by other people's insecurities and their lack of confidence in themselves. Only you can live your life. And if you need to change in order to improve your circumstances, by all means, do so. The crabs in the bucket, including friends and family, cannot live your life for you. And they have no right to stop you from living on your own terms. And this happens on every level. When you decide to grow emotionally, spiritually, financially, you'll trigger reactions in others. They may criticize you, guilt trip you, or even withdraw their support. But here's the truth: it's not about you. You're living your life according to your right to do so. You are simply reflecting back to them what's possible and what they're not yet ready to face. So when you rise, don't take their reactions personally. Don't try to convince them. Don't try to convert them or carry them on your back. Your job is to keep climbing. And sometimes that means protecting your space, protecting your peace, even from people you love. This is why emotional sovereignty is so important. Because if you're not controlling your emotions, your mental state, someone else will. Criticism, jealousy, guilt, these are emotional hooks designed to pull you back down. But when you stay centered, calm, and conscious, you can see it for what it really is: a reflection of their state, their insecurities, not yours. And that is where freedom begins. Surround yourself with people who lift you higher. Seek out mentors, friends, communities that celebrate your wins instead of competing with you. And if you can't find them, build them, because your environment matters more than you think. I once mentored a client who told me, I don't understand why people around me seem so negative now that I've improved myself. I said, they're not more negative. You're just more aware. You've outgrown the bucket and you're finally seeing the ropes that were holding you there. That realization changed everything for her. She stopped trying to explain herself and started quietly living her truth. Within 6 months, she found a new circle of people who shared her vision. And she said, it feels like I can finally breathe again. So if you've ever felt the tension between your growth and other people's comfort, remember this: their reaction is not your responsibility. Your evolution is not their approval. You don't need permission to rise. Because when you do, when you refuse to be pulled down, you become an example of what is possible. And that's how you lift others, not by climbing into their bucket, but by showing them the way out. You have just completed one of the most powerful realizations in the Human User Manual. This isn't just self improvement, it is self liberation. Because when you stop feeding negativity and focus only on what uplifts, you become unstoppable. And that's when your real power begins to surface quietly, steadily, and unmistakably. If you want to take this deeper, to not just understand it, but live it, join me in the extended session on Patreon, where we'll go through a guided affirmation, meditation, and visualization practice designed to seal this truth into your subconscious. In the extended Patreon version of this episode, I'll share a powerful affirmation sequence to protect your energy from the crabs in the bucket mentality and help you stay aligned with your purpose no matter what anyone says. You'll also learn how to program your subconscious to stay strong, focused, and immune to negativity. Join me on Patreon for the extended teaching, guided affirmations, meditation, and visualization practice. The links are in the description.